Okay, guys, let me know if you guys can hear me well and see me well. Put something in the chat box. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me well. Yeah, got a new setup tonight, guys. Still the same office I'm in. I'm just different desks, different background, different stuff. I change all the time. Yeah. Okay, guys. So with that in mind, guys, let's get started. So welcome to our study. So with that in mind, guys, let's get started. So welcome to our study group. If it's your first time joining us, thank you for joining our study group. In tonight's study group, guys, we are going to be, I am going to be answering your questions. If you guys want me to answer a particular question, all you have to do is put it in the chat box, and I'll get around to answering it at some point tonight. Don't repeat the question. All right, don't put it 100 times. I get around to it at some point tonight. And also later, I'm going to be doing some practice questions with you coming up a little bit later. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started in here. All right. Okay, so I do have the chat window. As I go through the chat, you guys will see them appear right underneath me. So let's go ahead and knock these. So if you guys want me to answer a question or a comment, just go ahead and put it in the bottom. All right. Hello. Well, hello to you guys too. Did you guys click on the like button? Come on, guys. You guys got to click on the like button. That would be amazing. First time here. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, these guys, Nishant, these folks have got to click on the like button. I don't know what they're waiting on. All right, you guys can see me loud and clear. Thank you, Andrew, for your PMP preparation course on Udemy. Thank you, no problem. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully that helps you to pass your exam. All right, Acquired Target. Is the mastermind course still open? No, that course is finished. I was doing mastermind training, and I'm doing it for corporate companies. So I've been doing a lot of corporate training. A lot of companies have bought the training for their employees, and that takes up a lot of my time. If you guys wonder what I do, a lot of the days I spend either running the business, and the other part of it, I do some training. So a lot of times I do corporate training. So like if you guys have a group of folks at work that you want to get trained, some companies call me up and they hire me to come in, and I help them pass their PMP, and generally we can do it within like 5 days. So I would set them all up and get them all to pass their exam within 5 days. That's generally the corporate training. That's what I'm doing generally throughout the week. So I haven't had much chance to actually there is a mastermind class coming up in August, I think. If you guys are interested with that, check TIAPMmastermind.com, TIAPMmastermind.com for that stuff. Acquired, okay. I took the PMP class with you in March. Okay, congratulations on that. And I passed the exam yesterday. All right, congratulations. Mindset and the blue shirts are the key. You know, when it comes to passing your PMP, if you have the mindset, don't forget, you can get the mindset in the Udemy course, the live class, my study guide. So you get it quite a lot of places. If you have the mindset, you do some practice exams, I think you're going to be just fine. The exam is not that difficult once you have the mindset. And if you don't have the mindset, of course, the exam could be very, very difficult. The blue shirt, the secret. You guys know I always wear a blue shirt, guys. The color of success. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds good. Congratulations on passing that. Did you celebrate well? Did you get a couple of beers? Hopefully you did. I had a lot of agile-based questions, which is pretty common. This exam, you know, even though PMI said that it was 50% agile and 50% traditional, it seems like more people get like 60% agile and a lot less traditional questions. that we're dealing with the people side of things. Now, 50% of the exam is 50% of the exam is going to be peoples and processes and things like that. So, when you're dealing with those kinds of things, dealing with people, you have to understand conflict management. You have to understand motivational theories. And I'm convinced that the mindset is key to the pass. And I'm super happy to hear we was able to help you pass your exam. Lost my job. Okay, sorry to hear that. 22 years IT experience, 8 years in IT. Okay, you're good. Never been asked for a PMP. Well, because maybe, that happens if you have a lot of experience and you're working in an organization that already knows you, they're probably not going to ask you for a PMP. But if you are unemployed, the question is, how are other employers going to know that you know what you're talking about? Remember something, a PMP is not just to teach you things. A PMP is not just something that you use to learn new things. A PMP is something that employers use to validate your knowledge. So when you're thinking of a PMP and getting a PMP, basically you're showing employers that, hey, I know all these things in the PMBOK Guide 7th edition and the process groups and all the agile processes and whatever. So remember, get your PMP because it'll help employers to know what you know. You may know what you know. You may think that, hey, I'm smart. I know all this stuff. But if you come work for me, I don't know you. I don't know what you know. But a certification is a way to validate what you know. So get your PMP. Yes, it'll increase your chances. Hey, Andrew, I'm getting 85 in your simulator. So if you have my simulator, TIAexams.com, go to TIAexams.com. If you have the simulator and you're getting 85 to 90, I think you're going to be just fine for your exam. That's a great score. I tell people, if you can get at least an 80% on the simulator, you're going to pass your exam. So you're doing 85 to 90, you're doing okay. Somebody asked me the difference between validate scope and control scope. So these are two processes that you're going to get in scope management, generally in a traditional project. This is going to be one of those 49, two of these 49 processes. So control scope is something you do every day. Control scope is keeping the work on scope. All right, control scope is checking the work and talking to the team members to make sure that the work that they're doing is on scope and they're not variant from the scope. If the scope is to paint the wall white, you got to make sure that they're using white paint. Right? You don't want to make sure that they're using like a glossy white when they should be using flat white paint. So control scope you do every single day. Every day you go to work, you're controlling the scope. You want to make sure that the project stays on scope. Versus validate scope. Now, validate scope is a different thing. Validate scope is something you do at the end of the project. Validate scope is something that you're going to do when the project deliverable is finished and you get the employee, the customers or sponsors to check the work. So validate scope is when the customers inspect the deliverable to see if the deliverable meets their expectations. Versus control scope, something you do every day, generally not with the customer, something you do every day to make sure the work stays on scope. So one of them keeps the work on scope, control scope, and the other one is to ensure that the work meets the scope requirements from the customer perspective. Hello, Andrew, Jamaica, no problem. All right. Right target, did you find? Okay. Hey, Andrew, I just passed the PMP on April with 3 above target. Congratulations on that. I took your Udemy course, and this helped me to pass the exam. Well, thank you for that. Going through the Udemy course, passing your exam, you learned the mindset. Congratulations on that. Did you celebrate well? You got a perfect score in the exam. Did you celebrate well? Did you get a piece of cake? Congratulations on passing your exam. We are super happy we were able to help you pass your exam. Very nice course in Udemy. All right. Thank you. Hey, Andrew, got this question on your mock. How do you train new members? Answer is that's different in 2 mocks. I don't know. Got to hear more. How long does it take to get the simulator exams after payment on your website? It should be instant. Check your junk mail once you sign up. It's pretty much instant. Check your junk mail. I purchased your 30 PDUs to apply for the PMP exam. Okay. You see, that's to buy your book to follow along. I see you use 3 books. You do not need to purchase the books, the 3 books I use. So basically, I use the PMP Guide 6th edition, which is now branded as the Process Group Practice Guide. I use the Agile Practice Guide, PMP Guide 7th edition. Now, you don't need to purchase those books. If you have my book, you're good. If you have my Udemy course, do you need my study guide? The answer is maybe. If you like reading, if you learn better from reading, get my book. It comes along with the video-based course. So that's up to you. Some people do fine reading. Some people are not good readers or can't concentrate. Choose the platform that makes sense for you. Andrew, I didn't read the PMBOK. Nobody reads the PMBOK anymore. But took your Udemy course, read a PMP prep book, and averaged 80% on the simulator. Do you think I'm good? I think you're just fine. If you're doing 80% on the simulator, I think you're going to ace your exam. So no worries there. You're going to pass your exam, okay? Andrew, I got this question in your mock. How do you do 2 different? Should the PM train them or ask senior members? It depends on the scenario. If the scenario is something where it's about project management processes, then you should encourage them and maybe train them. If it's something that is related to expertise of work, so a project manager can't train someone on how to write code. That's not what a project manager does. But if it's something to do with a plan, something to do with an agile ceremony, for example, if the team is not following the agile practices, then the project managers may train them in agile practices so they better understand it. But if it's work specific, you should not be doing that. That you got to get outside help or have them do it. Guys, still gotta get my beers and carrot cake. That's right. If you celebrate well, you got to make sure that you drink a couple of beers. All right. Cold beers. Now, this weekend, I did have a cold beer. You guys check out my Instagram. I have a really nice picture, at least I thought it was, of a good beer I had this weekend. Captain Lawrence is a brewery here in New York. I woke up Saturday morning, and I drove all the way to Captain Lawrence, which when I live in Long Island, it's like about an hour with no traffic. I got a 32-ounce of beer. And I did have some cake. So hopefully you celebrate well, because I always celebrate well. Even when I don't need to celebrate, I'm still celebrating. Guys, good luck on that. Good luck getting your beer. Congratulations on passing your exam once again. Hey, Andrew, hope you're keeping well. Okay, I am. I'm preparing for the PMP. I've been using Udemy course until now. However, I'm unable to get access to your book since I'm outside the U.S. It should be available on Amazon. I mean, if you go to Amazon, it should be there. I completed your TIA course on April 19th. Okay, good. I'm preparing for the PMP. If I want to focus only on a certain process group knowledge area, which one would you recommend? You know, I don't want to tell you to focus only on this, because you can go and focus only on that and then fail the exam because there were questions on other topics. No one knows what type of questions you're going to get on the exam. No one knows what area of focus. Some people say they get a lot of agile questions. Some people say they get a PERT question. Some people will say they had more conflict management. There are a lot of topics that exam can cover. So don't spend too much time on one thing. Now, if there's one thing I will tell you that you may want to spend more time on, is going to be agile. Agile is, if you're not understanding well, know the agile process, know how it flows, know the agile quote unquote ceremonies, like what's a sprint planning meeting, sprint review meeting. That's what you should know. There's a lot of questions on that. And of course, know the mindsets. If you're going to spend a lot of time, do that. The study material for the exam is still the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, or this is a common question. The PMBOK Guide 6th edition has been rebranded to a new book called Process Groups, a practice guide. And PMBOK Guide 7th edition is technically not on your exam. Contrary to what the world has said, PMBOK Guide 7th edition really is not on the PMP test. If you study it, if you read it, you'll know that because there's nothing new in it. There's nothing that is what I call testable. The PMBOK Guide 7th edition basically is like engage your team, engage your stakeholders, and be honest. Stewardship. That's really all it is. It doesn't have any material that's really testable. If you're going to read something from PMI because you don't want to read my book for whatever reason, read Process Group or Practice Guide, or the Agile, or the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, and read the Agile Practice Guide. That's really all, really what you should be reading. Or you can read my book, which has all that stuff. So to answer your question, PMBOK Guide 6th edition is more important than 7th edition. You don't need to read PMBOK Guide 7th edition for your exam. There's nothing on your exam that covers anything in PMBOK Guide 7th edition, contrary to what people say. All right? Take my word on that. Is there a way to get a soft copy of the book, please? My book does not come in soft copy, guys. You got to get only the hard physical copy. You would need to be where it's shippable in a country where Amazon can ship it. We do not have soft copies of the book. How do you apply the mindset with questions related to charts and graph? That's a really good question. You gotta, for me to tell you that, I would need to see the question. A chart and graph, if it's a question that pertains to how to read it, it may give you information such as the project may be out of budget, I should say over budget, or there's problem with the schedules, or there's problem with the way the work is being done, and then use the mindset in the scenario of that. Currently in chapter 3. Okay, I just answered it. What chapter should I pay close attention to? Realistically, all of them. I know you don't want to hear that answer, but it's really what you should be doing. Don't spend too much time on one thing. Know all of them. I don't want to tell you it's one thing and then you go into your exam and you're like, oh, Andrew, you said, okay, guys, hold on 1 second. I got some of my students sending me this. Okay. Let me say, can you tell to be an IT project manager what level IT I should have, or what are the technologies that I should? If IT is such a broad field, and it depends on the project you're managing. So if you're managing infrastructure projects, you should have understanding of infrastructure equipment, servers, routers, switches, access points. If you're managing IT security projects, understand IT security, threat management systems, IDSs, IPSs, SIEM systems or SIM systems. IT has many, many compartments. If you're managing software development, you should have some understanding of coding. I don't believe in managing projects if you don't have an understanding of that industry. That's what I tell people. I wouldn't manage a construction project, right? So I'm super project manager, know all the PMP stuff, but I wouldn't manage a project that is related to construction because it is not what I do. I don't know a lot of construction. I don't know how to install sheetrock. I don't know how to pour concrete. I wouldn't do it, but I'm very good at IT. I wouldn't manage a software development project because that's not what I do, but I would manage implementations, infrastructure. I would manage security stuff because that's what I do. That's what I'm good at. So first of all, you got to find out what section of IT. People say, I want to work in IT, but IT is not one field. It's like saying, I want to be an engineer. Great. But what engineer? Are you going to be a structural engineer? Are you going to be whatever other engineer, mechanical engineers and whatever more you guys have? So think of it that way. So find out the sector of IT you want to be in and just get adequate, I would say, beginner to intermediate knowledge of that sector. You don't need to be an expert because you're not a team member. All right. Hey, Andrew, my PMP application is approved due to my experience. Okay, good. But I've never had to use the PMBOK guide. 99.9% of people that have taken this exam have never used the PMBOK guide. Most people that have managed projects, I would say 99% of people in this world that have managed a project has never used the PMBOK guide. All right, something to think about. How much of my studying should I go to PMBOK? None. You'll be just fine taking my course. Listen, I went through the PMBOK for you. You do not need to read PMBOK, guys. I read it all for you. I'm the one that read all of PMBOK. I went through it in depth for you. You don't need to do that. Hey, Andrew, I'm pivoting from executive admin into project management. Good to hear that. I noticed that your Udemy course, both roles are similar task-wise. How can I grow to be more efficient in my PM role? Management of people. Okay, you have to, one of the things that a PM does is they don't do tasks. A project manager does not complete quote unquote work. We don't actually do physical project related tasks or project related work. We don't paint walls. We don't type codes in an application. That's not what a PM does. What a PM does is the PM will do things such as managing of people. The PM will do things like creating plans, ensuring people following the plan, dealing with team and managing team conflicts. A lot of what you're going to be doing is organizational work and dealing with people. So being organized, having good people skills is a trait of good project managers. So that's going to be, as a new PM or someone advancing into that, that's what you should look forward to. Hey, Andrew, I've been using your Udemy course PMP. Okay, good. However, I'm unable to order your book from Amazon. So is there any way I can get a soft copy? Oh, no. I just explained that. No, we do not have soft copies of the book. Can you please explain the location of release planning in agile process and who's responsible? The only person that can tell you what should be in a release is the product owner. The product owner helps define that. At some point throughout now, if you look at the agile, the sprint, the scrum process itself, you're going to find that the agile planning should generally be done away from that. So it's not going to fit like you do this, then you do this, then you do that. I know the others are like that, but this one is going to be more separated. And it's something that the product owner should sit down. They do the product backlog, they prioritize the product, but then they should do the release plan. These releases have these features. If you think about it, the team cannot really determine what features needs to be in a release for it to be usable by the actual users. The only person that can determine that really the users, and the users are represented by the product owner. So the product owner should do that. I came to the man to ask about Scrum Product Owner Cert. No comment on it. On Udemy, is there a great course to take? I don't know. Do you do Scrum? Only PMI ACP. I took your course and aced the exam wearing my blue shirt. Well, congratulations. I'm super happy we were able to help you pass your exam, but I don't know much about that certification, so I'm not going to comment on it. And I don't know of any course on Udemy for it because I've never looked it up. Maybe there is, maybe there is not. I don't know. I've never looked it up. But, there's courses for everything out there. I'm pretty sure there's some great instructors doing it. At least I hope so. Hey, Andrew, how update on any all docs is conveyed to all stakeholders? I'm not sure what you mean by that. How update on any / all docs? You mean like if you update a document and you convey it to stakeholders, you should follow a communication management plan. How do you communicate things that have changed on a project to corresponding stakeholders? That's what the communication management plan for is. So I'd say follow the plan. Please explain the difference between requirements management plan. I'm assuming a scope management plan. The requirements management plan says how you're going to, how, keyword is how, you're going to gather those requirements and make sure the project stays to the requirements. Scope management plan says how you're going to write the scope, how you're going to verify the work stays to scope. The real question I ask me is the difference between requirements and scope. Requirements is something you get from the customer, something you get before, and then it goes in and it becomes a scope. You use the requirements to create the scope. If you think about it, the input to the scope statement is the requirements documentation as part of the project documents. Hey, Andrew, passed my PMP last week with 3 above target. Congratulations on that. Super happy we're able to help you pass your exam. All thanks to Udemy class and the TIA simulator. Guys, if you want to pass your exam on the first try, get the Udemy course, get the TIA simulator, you'll pass your exam. All right? That's what you guys need to do. The simulator is the closest thing to the real exam. It's not overly difficult. That'll throw off your confidence and make you feel like crap. It's not too easy to make it feel like you're going to ace your exam. It's good enough to it's a good representation of the actual test. Thank you so much. Marie, congratulations once again. I'm super happy we were able to help you pass your exam. Now, did you celebrate well? Did you get a piece of cake? Make sure you get a nice piece of carrot cake. No other cake is, well, chocolate cake is good too. Get a piece of cake and make sure you drink a couple of beers. Or if you don't drink beer, get some cherry vanilla Coke. I had one of that this weekend too. That was really good. So congratulations on that. We're super happy we're able to help you pass your exam. Brittany says, I tell people that all the time, industry experience is the key to succeed. I'm right. Very good. Because it can easily understand the risk. Yes. Yep. Hey, Andrew. Okay, we just answered that. Yep. Once again, congratulations on that. Huh? Your guide and exam simulator should be enough to pass the exam. Yes, it is. You know how many people, thousands or hundreds of thousands of people around the world have used my books, the videos, the exam simulator, pass the exam, and my live classes. So congratulations. You got this. Can you explain manage quality versus control quality? So manage quality, and if you want to go back to the older versions of PMBOK Guide, it used to be called quality assurance, and control quality or used to use QC, quality control. So here's what the difference is. Manage quality, you got to remember first of all, is execute and process. When we say execute and process, think of it as work. When you think execution, think work. All right. So when somebody say execution, you got to think of work. So here's what I tell people. Manage quality. You do that to check the work. Quality audits, one of the tools. You basically check the work to see if you're following the right quality procedures or processes to produce the quality deliverable. Control quality is checking the deliverable. Notice input there is deliverable to see if it meets the quality requirements. Output being verified deliverable. So manage quality is more of a process-oriented thing. It's something that you do to ensure that the processes, procedures, tactics, or methods that your team is doing or following, you're checking to make sure those are going to produce a quality deliverable. And then control quality is checking the deliverable itself. Remember, managed quality really comes from quality assurance, right? It used to be called quality assurance. Every time you pick up a phone and you call a company, it says, this call will be monitored or measured for what? For quality assurance. Why do they say that? Because somebody can listen into the call to see if the rep is following the right procedures, the right script to make sure that they're giving a good quality call. So if you think of it that way, should be okay. All right. So I said Monique responded to Monique. That's right. Just do the simulator, get the study guide. You are going to be fine. Good day, Guru. Maybe. Please advise. Only your simulator is enough to clear the exam. If you just get my simulator alone, you will fail the test miserably. The simulator is not a standalone product. The simulator is not meant to teach you PMP. It's meant to actually simulate the exam after you have studied. Don't get the simulator until you have gone through your course. My study guide, my Udemy course, something like that. Know your stuff, get the simulator, then you're going to pass, all right? Hey, Andrew, I got the PMP and the CAPM. Do I still need to keep my CAPM? The answer is technically no. I mean, it's like the PMP is much higher, so there's no point in keeping an associate level certification. I don't know why you would do that, but I wouldn't. I would tell you I wouldn't. But if you have extra money and you want to, I guess it's okay. But yeah, the simulator was UCHOP passing, all right? Is the Udemy course being spoke of? The exam prep course is 35 hours. Is there another course I should purchase? No, that's it. If you go on Udemy and you type like PMP, it should be like one of the first ones there. Explain stakeholder engagement. So this is a common question that I get in, especially like when I teach a live class. People always ask me this question. How do you engage your stakeholders? What methods are you going to use to engage them? Are you going to hold meetings? Are you going to send out a status update email? You know, what does a project manager do to engage the stakeholders? How does it do to bring them in to the project, make them feel inclusive? What are the methods? And then communication is the more specific part of it. It's like, well, we're going to do meetings to keep our stakeholders engaged. Well, when is a meeting? When is it going to be held? Who's invited? What's going to be covered? What time of day it is? That's communication management. So technically those things go together, but for whatever reason, PMBOK splits them up. How many times could you do mock exams in the simulator? You can do as many times as you like. You have a 60-day access to it. So when you from the date of purchase, you have 60 days. You can do as many times as you like. I don't recommend Lean Six Sigma unless you work in process analysis. So if you work in a job where your job is to identify deficiencies in a process and correct those deficiencies or coming up with methods to correct them and basically analyze and improve processes, Six Sigma is good. If it's not what you do and you deal mostly with people and working on projects, probably not. Okay, Brittany said yes. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, no comments on that. I'm not even going to read it. I read it, but okay. I generally don't comment on other stuff. Just finished a Udemy course, but waiting on pulling the trigger to sign up for the exam as my work, my paid for it. Cheesecake is pretty good too. Okay, so if your work is paying for it, don't push it off too long. The best thing you can probably do if you're really ready for your thing is maybe you could pay for it and have them reimburse you instead of waiting for them. That's something to consider. Take your exam the moment you finish your course. The moment you finish studying, you finish the simulator, you finish the course, go and take your exam. There's really no need to wait. The longer you wait, the more you're going to forget stuff. So if you can get him to do that, I would advise that. Now, cheesecake is not cake. Cheesecake is a block of cheese. Okay, it's like cream cheese. It doesn't even have cake. Yeah, cheesecake doesn't have cake. Now, when I think of cake, I think of something with like flour. Like a piece of cake, man. Not cheesecake. Cheesecake feels like cream cheese. It's a block of cream cheese with sugar. I'm lactose intolerant. I don't actually eat cream cheesecake, but don't do that. Get yourself some chocolate cake or some carrot cake. That's good. Andrew, your master class, is the pricing going to change? I remember you saying another Tuesday is going to be cheaper. There is an in-person and an online version of it, but is it going to be cheaper? The problem is I get a lot of demand for it. So demands, and we try to keep the class small. That's the problem. So I don't think it's going to get cheaper. Sorry. How many months did everyone study before taking the exam? I started studying 3 days ago and wait to sit for the exam. Most people, you're heard some people say I studied for like a week. Not unheard of, but I've heard that. So I would say anywhere from 1 week to 3 months is a time frame. It depends on how much time you can put in. Here's what I tell students. You got to put in 60 to 100 hours. So if you decide not to sleep and you can go 4 days straight, you're good. So 60 to 100 hours. Put an hour every day, may take you 100 days. You put in 2 hours every day, may take you 50 days. Think about it that way. 60 to 100 hours is mostly the time that people spend studying. This includes going through a 35-hour class, doing your practice exam, revising and rewatching sections or reading sections. Hello to you too. Any recommendations on time management when sitting for the exam? When it comes to time management, I would say keep an eye on the clock. I just did a video a couple of weeks ago on managing the time. It's like how to hack the exam to get more time. Watch that video. It'll tell you exactly where you need to be and how much you should be spending on each question. Watch that video. I did a whole video on that. How can I get PDUs to maintain my certification? Come here. I give you guys free PDUs. First Tuesday of every month. I give you guys 24 PDUs. Also, if you're a member of PMI, you go to projectmanagement.com. They have a bunch of like podcasts that you can watch. They're all free to get your PDUs. Hey, Andrew, I'm kind of scared putting together my calculations in the PMI tabulation. It looks so complex. No, it's not. It's not complex at all. Just go in there and put from when to when. You're not really putting any kind of tabulations. You just put in name of the project, answer some questions about it, and when it started, when it ended. Well, I'm not sure what the problem is. All right. Oh, yes. I had a big piece of carrot cake, I read Marie, and a glass of wine. Wine. That's like sour grape juice, man. Don't drink that. Wine is not good for you. Beer is actually better for you. Look that up. It's true. I'm not joking. Google beer versus wine. Which one is healthier? You'll see beer is more healthy. It has less alcohol, and it has more antioxidants. It's true. I even wore blue on the day of the exam. Okay, I don't approve of the wine here, but the carrot cake, amazing. Of course, you passed because you wore the blue. So congratulations on that once again. Greetings from Montreal. Greetings from New York. Andrew, has the PMP exam changed based on... I just answered this question. No. PMP Guide 7th edition has nothing in it that's testable, once again. It's more based on PMP Guide 6th edition on the Agile Practice Guide. And don't forget, Agile PMP Guide 6th edition is now the process group practice guide. I did a video on this a few months ago, what materials to study, Mrs. Jackson, to get your PMP. Watch that video. I did a video on that. A few months ago, check in like January. Is your knowledge area process flow identify among the 49 in the diagram? Identify stakeholders is one of the 49 processes. That's right. Brittany says, don't wait too long. You will know when you're ready once you get an 80%. Do the TIA simulator. If you get 80%, you're good. I think that's all you need. Somebody says, I purchased and they're crying. Can you get a refund? I don't know. Elizabeth, is it possible to get an extension on the simulator? Unfortunately, I do not think so. So don't buy it if you're not going to use it. All right? Don't get the simulator until you're really ready for it. Get a refund if you can. Okay, so it literally is telling you get a refund. It's going to make you feel unready. Killed my confidence. Yeah, here's the thing. There are simulators out there, and it's not just the study hall thing. There are simulators out there where the questions are unnecessarily hard. And I've seen some people pass, and they use mines and they use others. And then they tell me, oh, Andrew, yours was easy, and this one was crazy hard. Then they go take the real exam, and it's like, when you did great on mine, you did great on your exam, and you kind of sucked on their exam, and you did really bad on the other exam, the other simulator. So which one is more like the test? It boggles my mind. Like, people want to take a harder simulator, and I could have made my simulator incredibly difficult, where everybody was going to fail, just like the others. And just like the others, I could have made it incredibly difficult, where a bunch of people would have failed to, get 50s and 60s, and everybody would have felt they're not ready. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it that if you know the mindset, if you are able to get an 80%, if you're able, and don't make it too difficult, because I know you got to go in there with some kind of confidence, right? You got to go in there knowing that you're going to do well. I don't want you to go in there thinking you failed all your practice exam. I mean, if you fail in all your freaking practice exam, why would you ever take the real test? You'll feel like you're going to fail. But the real test is a lot easier, so I didn't do that. I made the simulator just like the real exam. It's not incredibly difficult. It's not too easy. You know the mindset, you pass. That's it. The simulator will show you. And don't forget, it comes with video explanation. So, yeah. Don't do simulators that are overly difficult. Don't kill yourself on that. All right. So I don't like bad talking other people's stuff, but if they're gonna make their stuff incredibly difficult, don't buy it. Don't shoot your confidence, because all you're gonna do is keep pushing it off and give yourself anxiety. No one needs more anxiety in society. And your simulator is the milder, and he offers video. The video explanation is something that I take a lot of pride in on the simulator. All right. And thank you for that, Brittany. It took so much freaking time to make those videos, because each question, right, nearly like 400 questions, like 400 freaking videos was there. And each video had to be edited and posted and uploaded. Oh my God. It was like a nightmare to get that simulator off the ground. Versus other people that just writes an answer in there. So yeah, it's what it is. The Shade King. There we go, man. Andre, I'm a healthcare PM and taking your Udemy course. All 5 projects are traditional. It's fine, nothing wrong with that. Can you share an example of a project that could be either agile or traditional? It's such a blurred line nowadays between whether a project should be 100% of either. I mean, you think about this. You're building a building, right? Let's say you're building a structure. You're working in healthcare, building a hospital. You could design the building using agile methods, such as prototyping. All right? Iterative, not incremental, iterative development of a building. So you could do that using agile methods and then build the actual structure in traditional. So now we're using both. Software development could follow either one, traditional, it could be agile, or it could be both. So different projects, different industries could use one, could use both, or could use either or. Andrew, purchase your study guide from Amazon today. Thank you so much. Would it help me to get 35? Complete your guide, not the guide. You don't read the book and get 35. The book comes with access to my video-based course. Go through my video-based course that comes with the book, and you get your 35 credits. And I sat for my exam this week. I'm so nervous. Understandable. Any last-minute tips? Yeah, get yourself a good night's sleep. All right? Get yourself the most important thing is to get a good night's sleep. It's a marathon exam. If you don't sleep, you're gonna feel drowsy. You're gonna feel dizzy. You might get anxiety more. You might be more nervous. You're gonna be less relaxed. Get a good night's sleep. That's the most important thing. I take my PMP August 15 at home. So August 15, it's a long time from now, man. So what is that? We got June, July, 3 months from now. And maybe you could do it sooner. I mean, that's kind of long. You should be studying. I spent 2 hours a day, but I was not working. Spent 2 hours a day studying, but not working. And, if you're not working, you could do more. But I know you passed your exam. Congratulations on that. May, June, July to study. All right. Maybe, you know what? Guys, if you already scheduled your exam and you, like this person, if you have your exam and you studied May and June and you feel good, take it in July, right? If you study all of May and you're really good, take it in June. Don't keep pushing it off. Don't think you have to stick to this schedule. You put in as much as you can, as fast as you can. Just get it over with. Try to finish it in beginning of July. You got a lot of time. You got a lot of May is left. 2/3 of May is left. You got all of June. Take it at the beginning of July. You have the entire summer. You can enjoy yourself. All right, you'll be fine. The exam simulator is a helpful study tool. All right, thank you. I joined the local Orange County chapter that helps with PDUs. Yeah, if you're a member of PMI, a lot of the chapters will get you PDUs. PMI NYC, or the New York City chapter, has a lot of conferences and meetups that you get PDUs for. So if you're a PMI member, which you should all be when you take your exam, and if you keep renewing it, use the benefit and get your PDUs. Is Udemy 720 similar to this? No, the simulator is a whole different thing. The Udemy 720 question is more to test your knowledge. It's not really scenario-based, it's more knowledge-based. So it's there to test your knowledge, similar to the questions you got in the course on Udemy. Now, if you want and it's priced, I think that thing is like $10. So if you guys want to do more practice questions, do the 721 on Udemy. Now, when you're ready for the real exam, get the simulator. The simulator is more updated to match the exact wording and style of the real exam. And of course, you get the video explanations that you don't get anywhere else. I'll do, all right. Hey, Andrew, I'm happy to share that I've passed my PMP with 3 above target. Hey, congratulations on that. Did you celebrate well? Did you get a piece of cake? Dear all, please follow Andy's advice on time management and the mindset. Yes. You get the mindset, you're going to be okay. All right? Get the mindset and you are going to be okay. If you know the mindset, you'll be able to answer the scenario-based questions. Don't forget, get the mindset in the Udemy course, my study guide, my live classes. Also, please, Andy, by the way, congratulations on passing. Did you celebrate well? Did you get a piece of cake? I hope so. Also, Andy, is it possible to sell the master class you manage, the TI simulator, as you manage? I actually don't manage the simulator. It's managed by somebody else. Control time frame and record it. You mean I don't know. I don't know if we'll sell the simulator as the mastermind class and a recorded version of the class, because it's better interactive. It really shows you how to manage an actual project. It's everything I know about project management is taught there. So I don't know. It's something that a lot of people have asked for, and maybe we will at some point or at one point, but I don't know. I had a super lucky day when I took the test. I think I got an easy version, or just knew my stuff. Nobody gets an easy version, okay? It's either you know your stuff and the test is not that difficult, or you don't know your stuff and the test is very easy. The pool of questions they give you, I'm pretty sure other people get them, and some people have failed it. Some people just find it easy. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. All right? That's what my father used to tell me. So if you prepare well, you're going to be just fine. Plan to buy the simulator next week, all right? Remember, buy it 60 days before your exam. Past 2 months ago, just coming back to ask how to keep with the PDUs. Can I continue to attend these sessions? these sessions doesn't give you any PDUs. You could attend come the first Tuesday of the month, and I will give you 24 PDUs. Every month I give away 24 PDUs to you guys that attend the live stream to help you get started. Then go to projectmanagement.com. I think they have a lot of podcasts that you can get them there. No more anxiety. We don't need no more anxiety. Yeah, well, I can only hope for that. Andrew, you are the GOAT. I don't know if I'm a GOAT, but thank you. No problem, Kimberly. No problem. Thank you for that. I don't know if I'm the greatest, but I think I am. Hey, Andrew, can you explain the influence impact grid? This has to deal with stakeholder engagement. This is how much power, influence, or ability to modify, change a project does a stakeholder have? That's all that is. I have 3 boys, which is why I need time to study. You gotta tell them that, mommy gotta study or do what I do. Let me ask you guys a question. There's like 120 of you guys right now. When do you guys study? Okay, put in the chat box right now. When do you study? Like, what time of the day do you study? Like, do you study in the mornings? Do you study in the afternoons, in the evenings? And tell me the time. Put in the chat box. What time do you study? You study 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the night. What time do you study? I would like to know that. Let's see what you guys come up with as answers. All right, I'm going to tell you guys what time I study. Let's see if it aligns. All right, a lot of people. Okay, so you guys got to put the time. Just don't say mornings. Put the time. I want to know the time. So here's what I recommend, okay? Here's what I recommend to you guys. Do not, and this is just something that I'm going to say from my experience and my body and the way I think. Now, keep in mind, I got 65 certifications. I've been slacking off on certifications this year. I ain't get any yet. But over the past 20 years, I've averaged 3 to 4 certifications a year. So it's like I never stopped studying. Don't ask why. I'm crazy. And a lot of it is almost all IT stuff. And I study from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the morning. All right. So when I'm studying for an exam during the week, I like to wake up at like 4 o'clock or like 3:45. But I go to bed early. Okay. I go to bed very early. Okay. For those of you guys that are studying the night, and I see a lot of you guys, all right? Like, let me just put the responses in the box so you guys know what I'm talking about. Watch. Morning, 7:30 to 9. Aren't you going to work at that time? Evenings, no good. First thing in the morning, it's good. It depends on what that first thing is. 7 to 9, I'm going to work, man. I don't know what you guys are doing at 7 to 9. 9 p.m., no good. I would never do that. For me, the morning and the evenings, 5 to 10 p.m., it's a lot of studying. And I'm going to tell you guys why you should change that. 7 a.m. to 9 to 10 a.m. I mean, I guess on your travel to work, it's fine. I listen to an ebook or I listen to an audio something if it's available for that exam in the morning when I'm going to work. So I'm on a train or something like that, or I'm driving somewhere. 6 to 9, no good. 10 to 2, how do you study in the middle of the day? Aren't you working at that time? 6 to 9, no good. After work for 2 hours, no good. After 9, no good. 7 to 10, night owls, no good. Between 8 and 10, what? AM or PM? Early in the morning when everyone sleeps. Kimberly, I'm with you. That's what I do. When everyone is asleep. And study 10 hours a day, 8 to 12. All right, the exam. Okay, that's an exception. I study after work and sports, so not before. No good. Afternoon 2 to 5. Aren't you working at that time? I wouldn't do that. In the car, driving, using CarPlay, mostly in the afternoon. I like listening to something when I'm driving, but I don't know. 5 to 7 is good. 3 to 6, no good. Any time of the day that works. I don't know about that. My brain is most active in the evening. That's not true. You think it is, but it's not. You retain less information. 4 to 10. Don't do that. After work. No, don't do that. Evening, 7 to 10. Don't do that. After, nope, no good. Mornings are good, but I don't know how you guys are studying at this morning time. Don't you guys go to work in the morning? If you could, it's fine. Evening, this is worse. Don't do that. I'm going to give you guys an alternative. 7 a.m. to 9:30. If you got the free time, sure. 7 a.m. and from 7 p.m., not 7 p.m. So as soon as I got home from work, don't do that. I study best 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. 7 a.m., 9 a.m. All right, morning. Can't focus at night. That's right. I don't know how people do that. 5 to 10, Kimberly, I'm with you. I'm more like 4 to 6. All right, 4 to 6, 4 to 7. My husband studies during the night. He wakes me up at 4 a.m. and be super focused 4 hours straight. That's what you should do. So let me see if this makes sense. Let me ask you guys if this makes sense. For you night owls that study, don't you think you would gain more from studying if you, let's say you study for 2 hours in the night, right? How about if you go to bed 2 hours earlier and wake up 2 hours earlier and then study in the morning? The same time. So let's say you study from 8 to 10. How about if you go to bed at 8 o'clock? Or let's say you go to bed at 11 every night, right after your studies. Okay, you go to bed at 11. So go to bed at 9 and then wake up 2 hours earlier and study in the morning is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't see the point in studying. During the evening hours. First of all, your brain has been running freaking all day, dealing with people all day as project managers. In the evening, you probably got obligations. Maybe you got children. I have children and my favorite dog that I have to take for a walk. I just need to shut it off. All right, the evenings, relax yourself, get your brains. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're ready to go. You're more likely to retain the information. You're more likely, you think about this. If you learn something new in the morning, you have all day to process that and question it and conceptualize it. If you study in the evenings, what are you doing? You learn it and boom, you're out like a light. You never think about it. And then by the time you wake up in the morning, you probably forgot a lot of it. Yes or no? Isn't that true? Yes or no? What you study in the evenings, you go right to bed, you put it to sleep, and then by the time you wake up, you forgot a lot of it. Now, I have no scientific evidence for what I'm telling you. It's just what works for me. Why don't you guys try that? Study something in the night, go to bed, wake up 24 hours later and see what you remember. Versus study something in the morning and then think about it throughout the day and then see in 24 hours what you still remember it. See which one works for you. Not to mention, my thing is this. I own a decently large business. We have over 100 employees. We have a lot of different locations. You guys know I run this big medical school. And it's very hard to focus. My school closes at 10 o'clock in the night. And it's very difficult to get time when people are not going to bother me. Don't email me. Because sometimes you're studying. Let me check my phone. Hold on. And this happens, right? Let me check this phone, check this call, check this email. Nothing happens at 4 o'clock in the morning, guys. Nobody ain't calling you. Nobody ain't sending you any important email. Everybody's still asleep. So if I'm doing something really important, it's 4 o'clock in the freaking morning, and I'm not going to get any distractions. How many of you guys study and then you get distractions, then you forgot what you freaking study, you guys study it again? Or something, just you're studying and some distraction happens and then you're like, man, that pisses me off, right? That happens. So that's why I don't study in the evenings. Never study in the evenings. Anyhow, interesting discussion. That's my take on it. All right, let me finish up these questions here. Exam in 2 weeks, between 65 and 70 trials. I plan to work hard, but afraid the time will not be enough. No, you got more than enough time. If that's the exam simulator scores, please go through the videos and try to bring those up to 80. I just purchased simulator. I'm just about to start the Udemy course tonight. Does the simulator expire? Yes, it does. It's 60 days. You better hurry up. Should I have waited to purchase it? If you can't finish the Udemy course in 60 days, you might be in problems. Andrew, would you recommend a study group? If you have a study group and you're studying with friends, it could be beneficial to keep everyone motivated and keep everyone on track. I like study groups, but if the study group is going to meet up and talk about garbage and not actually study, they're wasting each other's time. So if you know a bunch of friends that works and wants to do a study group, it's fine. There's no coupon discounts to the mastermind, unfortunately not. Weekends, I do study a lot on the weekends. All right. So if I'm studying for an exam, I'll take a weekend or two off and I'll study on the weekends. Yeah, I like studying, but I don't like messing up my whole weekend. So I'll go to the library or I'll go to the office and I'll study from like 8 in the morning. Because Saturdays, I like sleeping late to like 8, 9 o'clock. So I'll go and I'll study, and I like weekends because there's really not a lot going on, even though businesses are open. I'm killing it. I hope so. Yeah, Andrew, I bought this TI exams last week. The idea of taking a developed plan, taking now. Does it expire in 60 days? It does. I'm going to try to 4 a.m. to 5:45. Try, but go to bed early. Don't wake up in the morning to study if you're tired. Okay? For it to work, you got to get your good sleep. So, I need 6 to 8 hours of sleep. If I don't get at least 6 hours of sleep, I feel like crap. So, if you get your minimum amount of sleep, knock yourself out. But if you can't get it, it's not going to be effective. You're just going to wake up tired and want to go back to bed. Hey, Andrew, any tips to attract recruiters and get interviews? It seems there are not many opportunities, difficult to get job interviews. Called 15 years experience. It depends on your industry. So it's not a PMP thing. That depends on your industry. It depends on how many candidates you have. Is it competitive? It depends where you live. So like if you're a software engineer in this part of the United States, getting a job might be difficult because there's a lot of software engineers there. But if you're a software engineer in the middle of nowhere and they need it, you're going to get a lot of jobs. Depends where you are, depends on your resume, depends on your experience, depends on your technology. A PMP does not guarantee anybody a job. All a PMP does is the validation that you have project management skills. But if the job requires more than project management skills and you don't have them, you're going to be in trouble. I got to do more job interviewing videos to answer a lot more of these questions. Too busy worrying about getting to work on time. Getting up at 4 a.m. I'm too busy worrying about getting to work on time. Get up already at 4 a.m. Okay, so your schedule really sucks, small startup, because if you got to get to work at 4 o'clock, I don't know what time you start work, but whatever it is, hopefully you get home early. That's what I could tell you. Sleep early. If you can't go to bed early, it's something you got to train your body for, Take some CBD. Go to bed early. What percent of questions are there in the exam? PMBOK 7. None. PMBOK 7 really doesn't have any questions on the exam, all right? PMBOK 7 is a bunch of common sense stuff. They don't test there's nothing in the PMBOK 7 edition that is testable particularly. Now, it is true that every question on the exam is PMBOK 7, that I've heard, and I've said that a couple of times. And technically that's true because it's a very generic thing. PMBOK 7 is more like you have to be honest with your team, and you have to motivate people, and you have to engage your team, engage your stakeholders. It doesn't really have anything that's particularly testable. So PMBOK Guide 6th edition is more valid than 7. All right, I see you guys are enjoying my thing there. Enjoy the live. It's always happy to have. I'll be back to report my 3 above target and over an exam. Thanks. So, yeah, no problem. Let me know what happened. Come back next week. Late evenings when the kids go to bed. Yeah, I feel you, man. If you got children, if you're a mom or dad or both, and you are have to deal with children, I know, and they keep you up. It's tough, but it gets better. Actually, no, it gets hard. Actually, with children, it gets harder. You get to go to bed earlier, but it does get harder. This is one thing I've learned with children is somebody once told me, an older gentleman when I was very, very young and I had children. I had my first child at 22. My daughter, 22, something like that. 22, no, 21. When did I have my first child? 21, 22. And he told me, small child, small problem. Big child, big problem. So that's something. I studied 4 a.m. to 6 to get ready. I studied from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. to get ready for work during the week, 9 a.m. before going to bed. I wouldn't do the 9 to 11. Better get up at 4. Try it. I'm telling you guys to try it. See if it works. It may or may not work. I'm just saying from my experience. I have no scientific evidence on this. I wish you the absolute best of luck. 10 a.m., all right? Changing my study schedule, first thing in the morning. Well, you got to wake up a little bit early on that, yep? Here's what you do. You wake up early. Everybody's asleep, okay? You go to the kitchen. I got a little Keurig machine, all right? Make some coffee. Put a nice Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks K-Pot in there. Pull down the lid. Put some water in the machine. Press the button. I love the smell of good coffee in the morning. And that's it. Just grab a cup, nice mug, and get studying, man. Go sit and find a nice comfortable seat. Everybody is asleep. The world is shut down. You don't need your phone. You don't need your laptop. All right? Well, if you're watching my videos, you need one of those. Nothing to do with work. And get studying. What you guys should be doing is you guys should have a separate device that doesn't have work. So, like at home, I have a tablet. This is my tablet from home, actually, that I'm going to use here because I'm going to buy myself another one. And I have a tablet at home, an iPad. I bought an iPad mini recently. So this used to be my tablet at home. So my home tablet does not have any work stuff. So it wouldn't have work emails. It wouldn't have work freaking emails is the worst. It wouldn't have any of the chat, like we use Teams or something like that. It wouldn't have any chat features. So when I'm using my home tablet, I can't see work. And I never use my cell phone because my cell phone is all freaking work. All right. I can't concentrate with all that stuff. So I take my tablet, get a hot cup of coffee or tea, whatever you like. Just sit in a corner, man. Find this comfortable chair. Sit down. My dog will come sit with me because she's always ready to play. She'll come sit next to me. She'll go to sleep. And I'll just read or if I'm watching some videos, I'll watch some videos. And just enjoy a nice hot cup of coffee, nice and quiet. Just me and my thoughts and whatever it is I'm studying. It's an amazing thing. You guys should try that out. Doesn't that sound good? What do you guys think? Does that sound good? All right. I've been doing the simulator test against 70. So review the videos you got wrong and review them and really review the mindset and go take your exam. Andrew, do you have a CSM course? No, I do not. I do have ACP because I believe that's better. Getting 70, 71 in simulator direct. Yeah, improve it. Dan, I'm coming to be PMP served in 30. So I'm good with 60 for the simulator. 60 days. Yeah, you got this. Gives you more of a thanks. Yep, you got this, buddy. All right, guys, it is time to do practice questions. So let's go and do some practice questions. Now, I got about 8 questions, I think, I am going to do here with you guys. So let's grab those questions. And you guys are going to put the answers in the box, all right? This is what you guys are going to put the answers in the box. So let's take a look. Okay, so we got some practice questions. Let's go ahead and knock out these practice questions here, guys. Let's go get it over with, guys. Okay, so you guys are going to put the answers in the box. It says practice question number 1. During a periodic review with stakeholders, the project sponsor inquires about how deliverables will be verified for accuracy and industry standards. What documents will the project manager use in this situation? Put the answers in the box. Put the answer in the box, guys. Scope management, requirements, quality management, or work performance report. Put the answer in the box. All right, Ram says, I'm getting 90s on the simulator. I know the answers after reviewing. They got 70s. You said the questions, I will get 70s or 90s. It depends, Ram, how much you know of the actual. It depends on how much you memorize, how much you know the mindset. Basically, if you're doing good on the simulator and you got the mindset down, you're going to be okay. All right? All right, guys, put the answers in the box. Put the answers in the box. All right, so you guys are on a roll here. Very good. Okay, it says periodic review. The sponsor requires how deliverables. So verify deliverables. How are we going to verify deliverable for accuracy? That is, of course, the quality management plan, because what they're talking about here is basically what outputs a verified deliverable. Well, the process is control quality. What is the main plan you use there? Quality management plan. All right. Not the scope management plan. Not the requirement. Definitely not the requirements or work performance reports. Practice question number 2. A project is being planned in a remote area with limited resources. The project manager suggests delivering all heavy equipment internally. Despite the significant expense, the project manager has no other action for this suggestion. What type of risk response is the project manager demonstrating? All right, put the answers in the box. Avoid, mitigate, accept, or transfer. Caden says, hey, Andrew, I'm glad to inform you that I passed my PMP last month. Hey, congratulations on that. Words can't express my feelings towards your mentorship and coaching through your videos. Big thank you. No, thank you for coming back, letting us know that you passed your exam. Congratulations on passing your test. Hey, super happy we were able to help you pass your exam. All right, guys, put the answers in the box. Put the answers in the box. Okay. What answer do you guys have here? So the answer here is, okay, a lot of you guys got C. The answer is correct. The answer is C. Notice it says the project manager has no other action for the suggestion. If you are taking no action, it's considered acceptance. To take an action to reduce the risk, that's mitigation. To avoid the risk or to eliminate the risk, an action taken to eliminate the risk, that is avoidance. And transfer is to give it away to a third party. All right, I think everybody got this one. Practice question number 3. A project manager received a project chart and wants to prepare the project management plan, but there is no historical information in the project management office. How should the project manager handle the situation? Analogous estimating, consult experts, implement a kickoff call, implicit inputs from project sponsor. Put the answers in the box. How much is the minimum you should get on the simulator before doing the exam? You should get a minimum of 80%. Get at least 80%, and you're going to be okay. All right, guys, put the answers in the box. Once again, guys, I forgot to see myself. I always join my own live stream. I forgot to do that. All right, let's see what you guys got here on this. Okay, guys, the answer here is consult experts in the field. That is absolutely correct. I think a lot of you guys got this one here. So it says there's no historical information in the PMO. So the best thing you got to do is call in the experts. First of all, if there's no historical information, okay, you can't use analogous, because analogous is dependent on historical information. You can't just kick it off and not give them thing. Never go to the sponsor. Hire the expert. Expert judgment is basically the answer. Check in next week. Thank you again. No problem, Kimberly. Come back. Let us know how you're doing. A dev team is creating a new video game and is choosing a target audience on a hybrid project. Now they need to identify the style preferences of the target audience. What's the best tool or technique in this situation? Focus group, brainstorming, product analysis, or benchmarking? Put the answer in the box. Put the answers. By the way, did you guys click on that like button? I forgot to ask you guys, and nobody clicked on the like button. Please, guys, click on the like button. We need you guys to do that. If not, YouTube doesn't like me anymore. All right, what is it that they are describing here, guys? Put the answers in the box. What does it sound like they are describing? Okay, a lot of you guys got A. The answer is A. This is describing a focus group, especially when you want to do a target audience to see how people would react to a certain thing and get feedback from people. That is called a focus group. This is literally, basically, the definition of this. Brainstorming is generating ideas. Product analysis is analyzing, and benchmarking is comparing to industry standards. After being brought onto a project during the execution phase, the PM reviews the project scope, cost for estimated purpose, and notice that the work breakdown is missing some deliverables. What should the project manager do next? Consult with stakeholders to determine the delivery should be added. Request additional funds. Document the work in the database and recalculate the cost. Verify whether these deliverables are necessary by utilizing experts in the field. Put the best answer in the box. It's a tough question. Put the answers in the box, guys. There's a lot of, like tricks in this question. So you guys got to read it carefully. Okay, guys, the answer here Okay, now I see quite a few people did not get this one. So let's go through some of the choices here, all right? So it says consult to determine if these deliverables, it says it's missing, all right? Notices that the WBS is missing some deliverables. Now, if it's a deliverable, it should have been, the WBS doesn't just list the deliverable, it breaks down the work. So more than likely it was in the scope statement, but it's not in WBS. It should be added to the WBS, all right? Because remember, the WBS decomposes the deliverables that's coming from your scope statement. So you shouldn't have to consult if it's needed. It's needed. You just don't go and get funds right away. You should know what it's going to cost because you don't know what it's going to cost. So you do C and then B. So B is no good. Verify what he delivers and necessarily they are. If it says missing the deliver from the WBS. If it was like missing, maybe from like the scope statement, maybe you could say, maybe it wasn't needed. That's why it wasn't in the scope, but more than likely it is in the scope. All right, number 6, several key stakeholders are in a strong disagreement about whether to proceed using agile methods. They prefer predictive methods. This has led to the project approval being delayed. What should the project manager do in this situation? Run a stakeholder analysis, meet with the key state, educate them on the benefits, ask the project sponsor on the conflict, decide on project goals at the project kickoff meeting. Put the answer in the box. All right, guys, put the answers in the box. Let's see what you guys got. Put the answers in the box, guys. Put the answers in the box. By the way, you guys should send me a invite on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, just go to LinkedIn, type my name, click connect. Yes, some of these I did put some. I did grab some questions because I didn't have time to make any, so I grabbed some of these from simulators. This is true. Okay, guys, the answer here is B. That is correct. So it says, are in a strong disagreement whether to proceed using agile method. They prefer predictive. So one of the things you got to know on the exam, part of the mindset is just don't take action. Okay, so what the first thing you do is not going to take action. Before you take action, you have to understand what's the root cause of the problem. Now, what should you do? Decide on the goals and the kickoff. This is you making a decision, not understanding the problem. Never go to the sponsor or never give away your problem, part of the mindset. If the choice is giving away the problem or telling someone else to fix it, it's not the answer. I'm not sure what this is going to do. Analyzing the stakeholders, the best thing here you can do is to meet with them. Ask them what the problem is. All right? Meet with them. See what the problem is and then tell them the benefits of agile. One of the things is being an agile advocate. Next question, practice question number 7. During the development of the hybrid project, there will likely be sensitive client data to deal with. The compliance manager warns you that your project is not in compliance. What should the project manager do first? Review the statement of work, update the issue log, review the business case, update the risk register, put the answer in the box. Put the answer in the box, guys. Put the answer in the box. Raj Patel says, hey, Andrew, I got my PMP with all 3 above targets. Congratulations on that, Patel. Raj Patel. Think of your course and mock exams, guys. If you guys want to pass your PMP just like Raj Patel over here, get the simulator, get the course, you're going to pass. Congratulations on this, Raj. Welcome to the world of PMP. Did you celebrate well? Did you get a piece of cake? How about a couple of beers? Congratulations on that. We're super happy we're able to help you pass your exam. The answer here, guys, is going to be B. Notice. Now, some people, I'm not sure what a statement of work is going to do. A statement of work says what needs to get done. It's like this work has to be done. Now, most of the time, statement of work refers to outsource. So it's not it does. It's not the question came down, the business case, I'm not sure how that's going to help here. The business case is why the project is getting done. The project is development stage. They're developing something, so they're actually making it. Now, the question, is it a risk or is it an issue? That's really the question. And, this is where you guys should have brought it down. Now, notice, warns you that your project is not in compliance. This is an issue. If it was something that your project may not be or might not be in compliance, then it's a risk. So if something is not in compliance, it's a problem. It's not a risk anymore. Remember, a risk is something that has a probability of happening. This thing says your project is not, if your project is not in compliance, it's an issue. Bob did not show up for work today. That's an issue. All right, so read it carefully. All right, last question, guys. Project team is analyzing the progress of the project. SPI is 1.4. CPI is 0.7. What should the project manager report the status of the project? Put the answer in the box. You got to know your EVM. You have to know what they mean. Know what they mean. Now, the previous question, I know a lot of you guys got that wrong. So you guys got to understand, guys, a risk is something that's probable, that it hasn't happened yet. All right? If something did happen, if something messed up happened, it's an issue. But a risk has a probability. Issues don't have probabilities. You got to read into the question. Something that might happen, that has a probability, something that's probable to happen, something that may happen is always a risk. Something that already took place is an issue. So you got to read that carefully, guys. Okay, so let's see if you guys know your EVM. The answer here, guys, is going to be A and D. Yes, SPI of 1 means this project is ahead of schedule. That is correct. And a CPI of 0.7 means the project is over budget. So remember, 1 means you're on budget. Anything under 1 is over budget. Anything 1 and over is under budget. Same thing with SPI. Anything 1 and greater, ahead of schedule. Less than 1, behind schedule. Okay, guys, we are finished here for tonight. That's all I got. So with that in mind, guys, I am done for tonight. Okay, guys, thank you guys for coming out tonight. I will be back next week. I want you guys to have a great week. Have a good week, weekend, evening, day, morning, year, month, and whatever it is, holiday, whatever it is. So congratulations to everyone that have passed. I wish you guys the best. Get the simulator, get the books, get the Udemy course if you want to pass your exam on the first try, just like everyone else did. Guys, I wish you guys the best of luck. I will see you guys next week at the same time, same place. Now, if you guys are taking your exam in the next 7 days, I wish you the absolute best of luck. From the bottom of my heart, when you pass your exam, come back, let us know that you passed. If you're taking your exam in more than 7 days, keep studying. Don't get demotivated. Look at how much people pass. See what they're doing. Watch all my other videos to see how folks are doing, what they studied, do the practice questions, get the simulator, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. And I got a pretty interesting video coming out later this week that I recorded earlier. Is the PMP exam still relevant? Is something killing it? Something to think about. I have a video coming out on that. Check for it, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Give the channel a subscription. Click on the like button. Please click on the like button. I'll see you guys next week, guys. Take it easy, guys.